All right, everybody. Welcome to Patina Pitstop and the 815 LSX Swaps live update. Today we are just kind of going back and talking about our quest to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's a friendly competition between 815 LSX Swaps and the Patina Pitstop YouTube channels. So with me in the studio today is Eric from LSX Swaps, and we're going to have a we won't get to the numbers just yet, but we're going to talk about our competition. We both started about 3 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago. We both had 555 subscribers on our YouTube channels. At the same time, we've kind of been pretty close for a while. And so we decided to kick off the competition to get to 1,000 subscribers. As of Friday, 2 weeks ago, I was at 565, and 815 they just crested 600 right at the time that we were live. So before we jump into that, let's introduce Eric from 815 LSX Swaps. Tell us a little bit about your channel and say hi to everybody.
All right, so my channel is 815 LSX Swaps. We have 4 projects on the channel right now. We have an LS swapped Nissan 240SX. We have a twin turbo LS swapped Fox Body Mustang, a twin turbo LS swapped BMW E36, and the one we're currently in the process of doing is an LS swapped 1978 El Camino.
Very good. So you guys kind of have the market on all of the LS project cars that people have, and I just have a rusty old station wagon. So uh, I'm looking at the comments. So this is my first time doing a live where I can look at the comments and everything. Thanks, Downhill Daddy, for joining us. I'm assuming stuff with Cletus sent you over here, so I appreciate you popping in. We got let's see, Wasted Talent Fabrication in here. Uh, this right here, that's my lovely wife. Yeah, the studio is the back corner of our bedroom. So we got Narcoleptics in the house too. He's glad to see you in here. And Downhill Daddy is hitting on my wife already, so that's pretty cool. No problem. Thanks, buddy. And so, oh, there's my buddy Jason. Oh yeah, I need some merch. Yeah, I gotta get to 1,000 subscribers, then I'll get some merch. How you doing, Jason? So what we're going to talk about tonight is some of the things that we're doing to help grow our channels, trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark as quick as we can. That's kind of like the big thing, is trying to get there. But before we get into that, I wanted to go jump into. I watched the live feed that 815 had last Friday. I couldn't be part of it because I work nights. Good news is I'm only on nights for about another 2 weeks, and then I'm going to day shift. So I'm very thankful for that. So um, the so on if you guys haven't subscribed, check out 815 LSX Swaps. They had a live feed last week, and they were talking to Mike from Narcoleptic Customs about what hasn't been LS swapped. What are the vehicles out there that haven't been done? So I was thinking about what is the LS swap that needs to happen. What is the one car that you haven't seen? I mean, because everything's been done now. So I brought this question up to Eric earlier. So uh, I want to pass it over to you. What do you think is the next thing that needs to be LS swapped?
So I did a lot of research trying to figure out what hasn't been LS swapped. And like you'd mentioned on our live stream, we kind of were talking about coming up with a list. And it's really difficult because every vehicle that you think of, you go to Google, you type it in, it's been done. Um, so coming up with that list is going to be difficult. So what I chose for tonight is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. What I think would be cool for the next LS swap is aqua cars. So there's a bunch of them on here. The one that I think would be cool is kind of the original amphibi car here. So just imagine you're cruising down the road. You've got your LS swap, and you just decide we're going to go for a swim, and you jump off the dock and right into a lake or whatever. And now you've got an LS swapped boat. So how cool would that be? So
I like
there's
it. I mean, it's got to be maybe one of the only untapped markets.
so not that long ago when Cletus McFarland was doing the mini jet boats, I started looking at whether those had been LS swapped, and I even reached out to the company that he was using, and they said that they don't know if it had been done, but they thought it would be possible. So I had talked about doing a 4.8 LS, trying to go with the smallest one and seeing if I could get one done. But they're a little pricey, and obviously I'm not making money off YouTube yet, so I don't have the income to get one yet, and I've got too many other projects. So someday down the road, I think it'd be cool to LS swap one of those mini jet boats or one of these aqua cars.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what else? What else can be done? What else hasn't been done at this point? So, in that same vein, I've thought about this, and partly because I was just down at my dad's house, and I don't have the picture because I didn't get all this set up to share my screen because I'm still a rookie at this. But uh, I think it would be cool to LS swap an old Mopar, and I'm talking specifically a Mopar that is like a numbers matching, like a Himikuda, and put an LS in it, just because that would make so many people, the Mopar guys, would just be so mad. A Himikuda with an LS in it, or an old Dodge Charger RT, or a Plymouth Roadrunner, something that's actually worth something, not like a old Satellite or a four-door Belvedere. I'm talking it needs to be like a legitimate, like a winged Daytona car, or a Hemi Roadrunner, a Himikuda, something like that. Somebody needs to put an LS in that, just because it will just make everybody in the Mopar community so mad. I think that needs to be the next. That's I can see the comments already. I think that would just be, it would just make so many guys so mad. So my dad's Roadrunner is a numbers matching original 383 big block Mopar. The motor, the engine's never been out of the car. I mean, it is all original, and I think it would be hilarious to stick an LS in it, paint it the turquoise, and then make it look sort of factory, and then when people see what it is, uh, yeah, I'd be the whistling diesel of the car world. Yes, I think that would be like the only way to make put an LS in something that just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you do that to a Hemi car? Like, but it'd have to be an original one, and then you'd have to like prove that, oh yeah, this is original Hemi Cuda, and now it's got a junkyard 5.3 in it. Just, it would just make people mad. So that's what I think is the next thing that you're going to have to put an LS in to get attention, to get notoriety. If you pull up at LS Fest with a yeah, exactly, Dirty Panda, yeah, then go to LS Fest with a Roadrunner or Cuda or something like that. I think that would be our Charger RT. I just think that would be cool, just because it would just make those people mad. So
So sounds
my dad's probably changing his will right now to make sure that I don't get the Roadrunner. It's me, my brother's going to get it, because he's like, Casey's going to LS swap my Roadrunner, and I can't have that.
I was gonna say it sounds like you already have the vehicle to do it, so you just need to borrow one of my engines.
I do. I just, like I said, I don't. Maybe my dad won't watch this, because if I've never even like told uh, my dad like this idea that I've had in my head, because like I said, I know that he would either sell the car, or make sure that he gives it to my brother instead of me. So I don't know if it's in the will anyway, but I know that would just uh, make sure that my brother would get that car and not me. So LS
Another
swap a Hellcat, yeah, that's kind of in that same vein, something that wouldn't make sense, that would be the opposite of what you should be doing. going the wrong direction. So
I know another one. It's already been done, but would be LS swapping a Tesla.
yeah, yeah,
But
that
my
or a Prius, something like
yeah,
that. I'm sure that's been done.
but going the other way, lately I've been thinking a lot about EV swapping something that shouldn't be swapped. So, like taking my Fox body and doing an EV swap on it, and then pull up to the Tesla charging ports with my Fox body drag car and back in and, start charging it or something would be kind of wild too.
Yeah, sort of along that same lines. I know someone, yeah, Dirty Pants said, "What about Chevette?" I've seen that done, and it was like a crappy four-door Chevette, and he put an LS in it. And
Hmm.
but uh, the I don't know if you saw, was that at PRI, the '57 Chevy that had the electric
Project
motor in?
X.
Yeah, yeah, that made a lot of people mad.
Yep.
And I admit, like, that to me just doesn't seem right. Like I get what they're doing, but and the biggest thing is you can always undo it. You can pull that back out and put a small block or a big block or an LS back in it. And that's the thing with like putting an LS in a Hemi Cuda. It was, you could just undo it, but it would make some of these people mad that you did it in the first place. That's what I
Right.
think is the awesome part about something like that. So so
So So the car that I was originally looking at before I came up with the Aqua cars was a Lotus Leaf, and I haven't found for sure if it had been done. But I've always wanted to do like a Miata cart or something like that. So that's when I started looking at smaller cars like that and came across the Lotus. So that would have been another option. I didn't get enough research to see if it had actually been done or not. And then the other car, I don't know if you've seen it, but ICT Billet LS swapped a Lamborghini, and I don't remember which model they did, but I know they're doing one right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing when you, and that's what someone said. Rich builds, yeah. Dirty Panda says rich builds. Yeah, you'd have to find like a totaled out Lotus or a Hellcat that had been wrecked and totaled or something like that to make it. And even then you'd have to have some pretty deep pockets to make something like that happen. So yeah, it wouldn't be an easy thing to do, especially my budget. It's just a dream, but it's one of those things that get people talking and get people mad, and
Yep.
that's kind of the whole thing about the LS world now, is it's just making people mad. So
So at PRI, they had and I don't remember the year, it's a Ford. I remember it's an F100 or F50. It was an older body style, and it is twin electric engine conversion. And it was all, I believe, donated by Ford. So what I was wondering is when Chevy starts coming out with their fully electric crate motors, if I wouldn't be able to come up with some kind of crazy idea to pitch to them to try to do a Chevy electric engine conversion. We'll have to change our name to 815 EV swaps instead, but
that'll
you
be
know,
your second channel. That way
right.
you have two channels.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah. That's it's definitely coming, but I don't know. I'm not ready for the EV stuff. I watched a little bit of the Cletus McFarland when he borrowed the Plaid to race, and it it was pretty impressive. It's so weird that it's quiet, but you could see when he would nail it, and people, the look on the passengers' faces, you could just see them start to smile and get all excited. It was kind of fun to watch, and how he shocked his wife when he had her in the car, and I mean those
She knew it was
things, they
coming.
rip. Yeah, she kind of knew, but even though it oh my gosh, that thing is crazy. Like, it's
But
just nuts how fast it is.
and those things are still like 125,000 though. But they run, I think it said low eights or low nines,
Yeah, I think
which
in the nines is what they say. Yeah.
yeah, so it's crazy. I think they're a cool car, and if honestly, if I had the money, I'd totally be into getting a Tesla. I don't know, I like them, and again, I think there's gonna be a market for EV swaps, and there's already some companies that make EV swap kits. I've been doing a little bit of research, so I know like people like motion are against it, but it's gonna happen. So
Right.
especially if you're a business person and you want to get into it, you now is the time to start figuring that stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's going to be enough room for it's going to be both. It's not going to be, it's not they're not going away. Just like small block Chevys haven't gone away because of the LS platform.
Right.
I still have small block Chevys and my stuff. So it there'll be both. We'll have EV guys, and then you'll have the LS guys, and you'll have the old school big block and small block guys, and turbo guys and carburetor guys. It's just going to be more. It's just going to add more to the the whole group. Everyone's just going to have more things in there and more decisions, and give us more to fight about. So
Right. But again, if you're a business person and you want to get into something, I think the EV you can't really do much for performance, right? You add more batteries. That's your performance upgrade. But doing things like making kits to bolt into engine bays on Fox bodies and Camaros or whatever, I think that's a market that's there and ready to be taken, but you got to
yeah,
be able to have the funds to get the engine and to mock that kind of stuff up, and that stuff's not cheap right now.
yeah, get in kind of on the ground floor as it starts out. So well, I appreciate everyone getting in here and commenting and everything. I have no idea how many people are in the chat. I can't tell. I don't know how to tell all this stuff. This is my first live as far as this goes. So I've seen Dirty Panna, Mike's Garage, Wasted Talent. I don't know if he's still in here. So I appreciate everyone jumping in. Dude with Wrenches, all you guys jumping in. I do appreciate you jumping on here and visiting with us as we try to figure out how to do live streams, and we'll get better at this as we go along. 9 people are watching. I can see that up there. There we go. so, um, so before we jump to what our numbers are, uh, just so everyone knows that tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Central Time, I'm going to be on the Car Guy and Six show. They're having me. Uh, Narcolepsis Customs is leaving. Bye. Let him go. We'll put that thing on there. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Uh, I'm going to be on the Car Guy and Six Fan show. It is on the Old Car Guy YouTube channel. I posted it on my social media. So if you're around tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, I'm going to be on their show. So I'm excited to be on their show. They've had a lot of really big guests lately, and they've had some other guys. Oh, look, there's Six Fan just popped in right now. So good to see you in here, Grant. So I'm excited to be on the show. They've had a lot of good, really big YouTubers recently, and they got a bunch of big numbers, big people coming up. So I'm excited to be on the show tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. So if you guys are around, check it out and say hi, say a shout out. So, and I'm going to mention this competition that we're having between the two of us. So I'm going to go ahead and go first. I'm going to double check because I've gotten a couple people since. Oh, look, Dirty Panda. He subscribed. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Didn't know he wasn't on mine. So let me take a look, see what my numbers are as of right now. Holy
You
cow.
you've jumped up since we started this at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah. So I am at 585 subscribers. So I think I've gained like 5 or 6 subscribers in the last hour. So thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. That's awesome. I have some plans, which I'll get into in a minute, but that's awesome. 585. I'm moving up. I'm not even to the place where you were 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So go ahead and let's drum roll and get your numbers.
So yeah, just like we were saying before we jumped on, you were only at 578 when I looked earlier. So that's pretty good. That's what, seven in the last, like you said, hour. So very cool. I am at, and I just double checked, I am currently at 651. So you had mentioned that on the 14th was our last live stream. So 12 days ago, we just had hit 600. So that means in 12 days we had 51 new subscribers. We are up 4.7K views and 101.8 hours in the last 12 days. So that's kind of the numbers that we're at over the last 12 days from our last live stream.
That is awesome. Yeah, yeah. You've been hustling, and like Dirty Pants says, that's awesome. Congratulations. You are motivating me, so I'm going to get rolling. So I'm going to probably say that today, like this last hour, 7 subscribers. That's probably my biggest one day jump ever. I'm kind of a slow and steady. I said it the last time we had our live. I'm usually about 7 to 10 a week. I'm kind of slow, steady, just kind of keep marching on. So 7 in one day is probably by far my best single day. So I'm excited about that. I noticed Wasted Talent asked if how our watch hours are. My hours are really good. I have a couple of big videos that have carried me, and I'm just over the 4,000 mark. So my big thing is I got to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. So uh, I've realized today, and I'll go ahead and share this as a good segue into that. Um, so my first YouTube video I posted in 2017, and I posted one, and it was a short one. I did 2 videos in 2018. I did 3 videos in 2019. I did 5 in 2020. So those are my first 11 videos. Took 3-4 years. Last year in 2021, I posted 18 videos. So that's definitely the reason why I think my channel has started to grow so much more. I'm getting uh, more content, getting more consistent with it. If I had more Flex Seal videos, I would Flex Seal anything. If that was probably one of my best videos. So yes, I definitely, I would like sometimes those little catchy, video ideas are really do help you a lot. So that's where I'm at. Thank you guys for supporting me. I appreciate it. Thanks for supporting LS Swaps, and you guys, we'll keep rolling on. What do you guys got going on your channel? What's the next video series or the next thing coming up on your channel?
So we still got to finish the El Camino. We got to do the fuel components on that. We have a little more wiring to do, and then we'll be ready to do the first fire up in the car. Dan's currently working on a video on how to wire up and start an engine on the engine stand, because we always start each one of our engines on the engine stand before we ever put it in the car. That way we know it runs. We make sure if it needs any work, we can check all that. So he is working on the Hold My Beer project engine. So if you don't know what that is, that's our engine that came out of the BMW, the 5.3, that had a rod that came out and smacked the side of the block. It didn't put a hole in the block, but it did put a crack. So we JB welded the side of that block, and we're going to try to use it as a burnout motor for something for Cletus and cars. We don't have a chassis yet. We're still looking. We see all kinds of stuff, but so far nothing that we actually want to get into or that's in our price range. So we're trying to stay around that $500 range, because more than likely the car is going to get wall tapped, and it's not a forever car. It's a, here for a good time, not a long time. So we're looking for something cheap that we can throw that in. So that should be a series once we get that car or that chassis. Then we'll start doing a series on that. And then come springtime, we've got some work to do on the 240. I've got swap heads. I've got some valve seals that need to be replaced, and we had extra sets of heads laying around that have been completely refreshed. So we're just going to swap the heads. I still got to finish the Mustang. I got a little more wiring to do on that. I've got to plumb um, the parts, the wastegates, and the boost controller. That's what I was looking for. I got to plumb up the boost controller and get all that wired in. And then I'll be able to take that to the track and hopefully make some passes. So there should be videos on that. Uh, I want to get into the Danger Ranger. So if I can find a Ranger, there'll be videos on that. So we've got all kinds of stuff planned. Hopefully everything pans out. We're going to Cletus and Cars regardless whether we have a burnout car or not. But the plan is to register for the Burnout Contest as soon as it opens up. So hopefully we'll have something by then.
Yeah, that's I need to mention that. I don't know if my wife is still in here. I gotta talk to her about going to Cletus and Cars. I gotta make sure that that's on the calendar. I gotta make sure that we last year it wasn't able to go because of the tickets. They sold out. I think that was might have been because of COVID. They were limiting people in there at that time still, but I'm buying tickets early this time, and I'm gonna make sure we make it in there, all of us. So
I think the reason it sold out was because they canceled the year before because of COVID. And this year was absolutely packed. It was, I mean, you were shoulder to shoulder through that whole place.
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna definitely get my tickets as soon as they come out. I'm gonna go ahead and get signed up, and so that way, me, you, and Narks, and whoever else in the YouTube world wants to join us, we will go and we'll have a good weekend. So I'm
Yep.
hoping. I kind of want to drive my wagon up to Indy. It's about a 4 hour drive, so 4.5 hours. So I might drive it up there and put it in the pits and use it as a like a promo for the channel. So
Yeah. Make sure you get a pit pass. You want to
yep,
get an entry ticket and a pit pass ticket.
and a
Don't,
pit pass.
yeah, don't do like Narks did. But speaking of Narks, if he drove his Narks cart for 8, 9 hours up for Indy, I think you'll be okay in the wagon.
Yeah, yeah. I need a radiator. I gotta make sure it's got a little bit of a overheating issue. So I'm saving up my my allowance right now to get a radiator put in that thing so I can get to that. And then I do want to do LS Fest this year too. So as far as what's going on my channel, I have spent hours and hours and hours editing this new video that I'm going to put out. I'm going to put out 3 videos that are going to be kind of like companions to each other. So I went down to Georgia to visit my parents last 2 weeks ago, and took a bunch of footage of my dad's shop, my dad's Roadrunner, and my dad's '57 Chevy. So I'm going to have one video about the trip and those items, and then I'm going to have I took so much footage. I'm going to make one video just about the '57 Chevy, and then one about the '68 Roadrunner, just kind of like as a feature, maybe a 10-minute long video with lots of beauty shots, lots of the history, what about the engine and what my dad's done to it, and the history of the car, because both cars have really cool histories. Both of them are 2-owner vehicles. My dad is the second owner on both those vehicles. So I'm going to kind of do that, and then I'm going to try to make a bunch of TikToks, Reels, and Shorts with those videos cut down with just a bunch of little clips to hopefully maybe sneak some people in. So I gotta get up. I gotta pump up these numbers here. I'm falling farther behind, and I need at least be in the no. We need to make this competition at least look like I'm trying, and that this is that when we get to the finish line, I'm not in the 600s while you're at the 1,000 mark. So I'm gonna have to start hustling here, and it's gonna help push me to maybe get a little more stuff out there, and do a little more work. And the fact that I'm going to days is probably going to help that a ton. So
Yeah, I figured if I get close to 700 when you're getting close to 600, you'll definitely start to hustle a little bit. You'll feel that panic.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're pulling, you're gapping me right now. So
Yeah.
I gotta represent the Patina and the rusty station wagons of the world. There's plenty of LS stuff out there. I gotta represent the old school small block Chevy carburetor guys out there, and maybe get a little more going on here. So that's what this is all about, guys. So I appreciate you guys watching. Please stay tuned. We haven't talked about when we're going to go to do our next live broadcast, but the fact that I'm going to be on days is going to help that a bunch, and hopefully it'll be a little easier to get these live videos and these updates and these back and forths. It's kind of fun doing this stuff. This is my first one that I really done that stuff. So I appreciate all you guys in the comments that have been commenting. I've been trying to talk and look at stuff. So we'll see you, Dirty Panda, at Indy. I hope. You know, straight six fan. We're gonna figure out something to get you. We're gonna get together with you someday because you're not too far away. We'll figure out something. You're over there in Kansas or something like that. So you're over there closer to Narks. So oh, Dirty Panda's camping. Boy, that sounds dangerous. So yeah, so see, LS Fest will be good this year. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. And Bowling Green's only like an hour and a half for me, so I can't get any of my cars in there, but I can go. I don't have anything with an LS, so hey, Dakota's Classic Cars, thanks for subscribing. I think I've talked to him a couple times. We've had a couple messages back and forth, so cool to see him. I'm probably subscribed to over 200 channels, and I try to spread the wealth out and watch as many people as I can. So I appreciate you guys popping on here and checking us out. So is there anything else you want to say? Parting words?
No, I think we'll keep this going. We'll figure out what our next live stream is going to be. We'll hopefully get you caught up a little bit. I don't want to. I've already treed you, and I've already got you to the 8th. I don't want to. I don't want to get you all the way. You got to hit that nitrous and start catching up.
Yeah. I gotta start doing something. I gotta hope for that 200,000 mile LS failure to come into play here. What's at stake? We've talked about a possible tramp stamp of the other person's logo. But I'm feeling less and less confident about that being where I'm at right now. So we've never really clarified that, and it could be really small. Okay, like maybe remember on Friends when Phoebe got like the little dot, and so that's the whole world. Like that's it. I'll get like a little dot. That's the LS. Yeah, that's their logo. You just can't tell. It's blurry. So yeah, we gotta figure out something. We'll see how we're doing at Cletus and Cars, how close we are, and then maybe there'll be something we can kind of work out there, because that way we'll see each other in person and we'll have something that would be a little better at stake. We'll figure something out. So
yeah, my goal would be to already be there by the time we get to Cletus and Cars, but we'll see. At the rate we're going, I think we can do it. I mean, we're up, like I said, 51 in 12 days, and we did about 50 in the previous 7 days. So we're about 100 up in 3 weeks, but I don't feel like it's going to be able to be maintained, because I kind of mentioned that we're starting to slow down the last couple days, and it's kind of a roller coaster. So I don't know how long we'll be able to keep this big push going, but I tell you what, I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to keep putting this content out in front of people and trying to find the right people to put it in front of, so it's not just going to the people that aren't interested in cars or anything like that. I'm definitely trying to target LS people, Fox body people, BMW, El Camino, 240, Sick Week, drag and drive type stuff. Those are the people I'm trying to find and introduce them to our channel. And if they like it, stick around and hang out with us. And if they don't, that's fine too.
And then if you start LS swapping auto boats, like then you'll have the whole marine market. I mean, that would be that'd be
you'll
the
be
next
in trouble
step.
then.
I like this. I get to carb swap your stuff. Yes, I'm jets and carburetors and squirters and all that stuff that you guys probably have no idea about. I don't know anything about turbos or wastegates, but I can put some jets in. Like that's definitely he's speaking my language there. So yeah,
so I'd have to pull out an LS for an old school 350.
No, we just got to put, one of those carburetor intakes on it, and then we'll stick a carburetor on there, and then, then it won't start. You have to choke it in the morning and stuff like that. So yeah, that'd be perfect. So
I could do
all
that.
Right, guys. Well, I appreciate everyone jumping in here and all the comments. That's awesome. I appreciate it. And so you guys keep track of us. We'll be posting on social media and seeing how our race is going to 1,000 subscribers. And until the next time. Oh, and don't forget, tomorrow night, Car Guy and Six Fan Show. Come check it out, 7 o'clock Central Time, and that's on the Old Car Guy channel. So be sure to tune in tomorrow night, and you'll get to hear me ramble about the same stuff tomorrow. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time.